Facebook stream. So, okay, cool. So you guys can see me and hear me. Okay, perfect. Let me know if it does become botchy, and then I'll know for next time. We'll just continue doing the Zooms. But let's go back to Facebook Lives here for now. I think it's easier for people to access. But let's see who we have here on the line today. Guys, welcome to the Six Figure Spirit private Facebook community for hypnotists and holistic practitioners who specifically are ready to make money in their business. And I'm not just saying a few $100 here and there. I don't mean a hobby, but who want to make like 10K, 20K, 30K plus months. Like we have healers doing as much as 30,000 plus per month. Okay. I was able to do, without any marketing, just alone, I was able to do $20,000 months in my hypnosis practice without any fancy funnels or anything. So part of what I teach here in the group is how to make that awesome, that mad money, just doing high ticket sales. And then also, obviously, you need the lead generation going on in the background to bring you the leads, right? So that's the most important part, okay? So Matthew, good to see you. I think you're new to the group, right? So let us know. The way I like to start these calls every Wednesday is by letting us know who are you and what are your spiritual superpowers? So that's my fun question. I love to start off these live trainings with. What are your spiritual superpowers? Are you a psychic, medium? Are you a hypnotist? Are you an EFT practitioner, meditation coach, like human design? I like to get a gauge of who comes into this group, and this is often how we all bond. You guys can bond by just sharing your background. So, Matthew, let us know what are your spiritual superpowers. And Karen, I believe you're new to the group as well. Welcome to the group. Welcome to Six Figure Spirit. If you're ready to launch or build your online business, you're in the right place. Nicole, good to see you as well. And Matthew, you can see me and hear me okay. Perfect. Well, today, guys, I want to talk about something. Of course, I could talk about sales all day long. And for those of you who are new to the group and don't know me, my name is Lydia Catherine. I'm also a hypnotist. And, well, I am a hypnotist. I don't do hypnosis sessions anymore. I actually send my clients to, I send hypnosis clients to my clients, or I send them to colleagues of mine who still do hypnosis. Just because I don't do hypnosis anymore. Now I'm teaching sales to hypnotists and healers. So now I just kind of let, I funnel people who, I still get calls for hypnosis, oddly enough, because my Google review thing is still up. So people still call for sessions, and I just feed them to my clients. So Matthew, you're a hypnotist. Awesome. Welcome. And guys, as you're rolling in here, just let us know, what are your spiritual superpowers? Who do you help? Like, who is your ideal client? Who are you here to call in? Who are you here to serve? So this is a fun way to start the conversation. All right. And again, this is the group for hypnotists and holistic practitioners who are ready to grow their businesses online, who are ready to have that financial freedom, who want to make real money, like an actual salary, like maybe you're trying to replace a salary. A lot of healers we have come in this group are looking to replace a job, okay? And that's what I did, and that's what a lot of my clients have done or in the process of doing, and it is definitely possible. And that's one of the belief issues that I find in hypnotists and healers, is that they don't even know it's possible to make a living wage doing this. And not only can you make a living wage, but you can do a lot better. You can make a lot more than if you're working with someone. Doing online business, having an online business, I've been able to almost 5x what I used to make working with the government per month. So probably more than that. So Karen, good to see you here. Karen says, hypnotist and have a very strong intuition. Yeah, awesome to have you here. And guys, as you're rolling in, just go ahead and drop who you are. Who is your ideal client? Like, who are you here to serve? Who do you help? And then also, what are your spiritual superpowers? Okay. So what we're talking about here today is how to eliminate the single session madness. So this was actually something I never fell into, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of my training or just my headspace, but I never ever sold just one session at a time. I actually didn't realize this was a thing until hypnotists and healers were coming to me. Oftentimes we get a lot of Marissa Peers graduates here. We get People who come here and they teach us a stop smoking protocol in one session. I'm not here to tell you that if you can wrap up what you're doing in one session, that's great. But what else can you help them with? Right? Like they're just gonna come to you and then go off to someone else to work on their anxiety or their weight issues or their relationships, right? There's probably a bigger picture you can help them with, okay? So how many of you here, just a quick poll so I can see where you guys are at, how many of you here are still selling the single sessions right now? Like and maybe you're just selling per session. Maybe you're selling single sessions. Drop the word single below in the chat below, which I think it's below on your end. For me, it's over to my right or your left. But drop in the chat below, just drop the word single. If you're in this place of selling single sessions, but you want to get away from that and you actually want to sell like packages and programs, okay? And when I say packages and programs, I don't just mean a group of sessions because what ends up happening is healers and hypnotists will think, oh, well, I'm just going to group sessions together. And when you do that, what ends up happening is you're still charging for your time, right? You're just taking one session and you're duplicating it. So you still have to show up for every session, okay? So how many of you here are still selling just single sessions right now? Just drop the word single below. And you're wanting to get away from that. Maybe you want to sell like a high ticket or like a signature program. Just let me know where you guys are at here. Looks like my connection is still good, I think. Let's see. And if some of you guys are commenting, just want to make sure I can see your comments here. So all of you guys, so none of you guys are selling single sessions right now? Nobody here is selling single sessions right now? Matthew, you're selling single sessions? Joseph, good to see you again. Welcome back, fellow Meowster. Anyone else here selling single sessions and wants to get away from the single sessions? So Nicole, yeah, this is most healers that I talk to. So I'm not sure where, and maybe this is coming from the training that you're doing. Personally, it never made sense to me to sell single sessions. It just like nothing is resolved in a single session. I don't think so. Even if say like, let's say someone comes to you for smoking, right? And you've had success with them, with people being able to like put smoking behind them in one session. What else can you help them with, right? Like their whole life isn't fixed in one session, right? Chances are there's a lot of other things that are sort of tied to the smoking that you can help them with, right? So Michelle says one single session right now. Okay, Joseph, single session. Nicole, Karen, I've sold single sessions and packages. So yeah, so this is traditional. Like this is kind of what we're taught at the end of certification trainings and is totally a path you can go down, except like here's what I started to notice when I was selling packages of sessions, or maybe in your case right now, you're just selling one session at a time. What ends up happening is, and let me know if this is what's happening in your business, is you don't have consistency. You don't have any predictability or consistency with clients or income. How many of you are dealing with that right now? Drop the word predict. Just drop the word predict below. If you don't have that predictability, but you're wanting that predictability, like you want to know that you're gonna like next month you're gonna be okay. Like that you want to know the next 6 months you're gonna be okay. The next year you're gonna be okay, right? So how many of you here just drop the word predict below if that's you want consistency with clients and revenue, right? And it's just going to be impossible to maintain if you're only selling one session at a time. And again, I mean, how many of you here really believe that life can be wrapped up in one session? I don't. In fact, when I go get help for stuff, weight loss, relationships, I want a package. I want a program because I potentially save more money, right? I'm always looking for how can I save money? How can I get more and save money? That's always what I'm looking for when I invest in coaching. That's just me because I know I'm the type of buyer that knows this shit ain't gonna be wrapped up in a few days or even one day, right? So are you guys vibing with me? Am I talking to the right people here? Did you guys join this live because you have a feeling like one session is just not really going to cut it? And even if it is, like, how can I help them on a bigger level? How can I help them get more? And then how can I help them make a bigger life transformation? And how can I get more as well? Okay. So Karen says yes. Michelle says predict. Joseph predict. Karen predict. Cool. Awesome. So it sounds like we're all on the same page. So it sounds like I'm talking to the right people. So you don't have the consistency, right? This will never come when you have a revolving door, which is probably what it feels like right now, just like a revolving door. You're never certain about where the next payment or the next clients are going to come from. How many of you, and if you said yes to the first thing, you're probably going to say yes to this. It can show up as like, I don't know where the next client or the next payment's going to come from, right? So how many of you are dealing with that? Drop the word client below if you're like, maybe right now you're questioning, where's the next client going to come from? When's the next payment going to come from? Right? It's just very unstable. Just for some validation here, I would never leave a job if I was in this place. If I had a revolving door, I wouldn't feel secure to leave either, by the way. I talk to a lot of healers and hypnotists who like beat themselves up. They're like, I know I can do more. I know I'm ready to go all in, but I don't have any consistency. That's when I say, hold up, then don't do anything, right? I know when I had so many moments during like the highest months in my, not even the highest, but when I was running my hypnosis business, how many times I just emotionally just wanted to leave. And I almost did. How many of you maybe you're in that place right now, like you have another job and you want to leave so freaking bad. You've even thought about it. Maybe you've even started typing up your letter. You've thought about it, but deep down, you know, you don't feel secure. Deep down, you know, you don't have predictability. And that's what's keeping you like getting pulled back and getting pulled back and getting pulled back. Any of you here know what I'm talking about? It's like almost like a roller coaster. It's like being on a roller coaster. It's very hard. Like every few months I would just get fed up, throw the papers in the air and be like, screw it, I'm out of there. But then I go back, right? Because I don't have the security. So how many of you are dealing with that right now? Drop the word me below if maybe you're in this place sort of straddling both your business and a full-time job. But the only reason you stay is because of the security or the predictability that you have. Michelle says paymenti. Oh, it's probably a typo. Okay. So I know this very well, but if you don't have predictability, I do not recommend leaving based on an emotional whim. Never do anything without logic too, right? Leaving your job is an emotional decision, but also should be a logical one. Okay? So I don't blame you if you haven't left your job because you don't have predictability. I wouldn't leave either, by the way. Now, some of us get fired from our jobs, like me. I got fired from my job, and I was forced to figure this shit out real quick. I was forced to figure it out. And it took me about 6 months or so, but then had a breakthrough, got to $20,000, $30,000 months, and then have just grown from there. Now, did not do it myself. I did not do it myself, okay? And this is what I'm here to teach you guys how to do, so that you don't have to spend 5-6 years straddling your business in a full-time job, right? You can do this much quicker. That's what I'm here to do, is save you that time. All right? What this also ends up looking like in your business is that you're stuck. If you're selling single sessions, you're probably stuck below. Honestly, I would say the 10K per month mark, but you're probably even stuck below the 5K per month mark. How many of you here have gotten to the 5K plus? Is anyone here, since you're selling single sessions, has anyone here actually made it over 5K selling single sessions? Because that's a lot. That's a lot, right? Let's just do the math here real quick. Most healers and hypnotists I talk to do like an hourly wage or a session wage of like $100. Let's just humor ourselves here. Let's say if we want to make it to 5,000 divided by, I don't know, let's just say $100. That's 50 clients every month to get to 5,000. This is gonna kill you. So this is why I don't like low ticket items. Okay. So Michelle, you made it to 10K. Awesome. Are you selling packages and programs? Or how did you, what made up that 10K? And have you been able to keep it consistent? Have you been able to hit 10K consistently or go up from there, right? Ideally, you want to go 10K and then 20 and then 30 and then 40, right? So hopefully that's going up steadily. Okay. So you're stuck below 10K per month, which is typically where most healers and hypnotists are by the time they find six-figure spirit. They're kind of stuck below 10K. But even a lot of you I know are stuck below 5K because you're just really underselling. You're really just undermining your own needs and values. And let's see, Michelle says that was 2 packages. I made 10K in 6 months. Okay, so then it looks like what I'm hearing is it's probably a marketing issue. So you don't have the consistent leads. Maybe it sounds like you have the package. You don't have the leads to fill so many spots every month. Is what I'm probably hearing. Okay, so yeah, you probably just it sounds like a marketing issue. Is what I'm hearing just based on that alone. And guys, also, this is an opportunity for those of you who are new. This is an opportunity for you to ask questions as well. This is an opportunity to start throwing in questions as we go here. That's what I'm here to help you with. That's what I'm here to help you do help you with every Wednesday. So start shooting out questions as we go through here for the next 40 minutes or so, 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so. Okay. So again, most healers and hypnotists, by the time they find me, they're stuck below 10K per month, typically because they're selling single sessions or they're selling packages of sessions. Whenever you're selling packages of sessions or your time, for example, 6 sessions is 6 hours of your time, 7 hours of your time, whatever that looks like. The problem with this is you're always going to run out of time, right? Time is a finite resource, right? And so the only way to get away from that, I even have clients who have started wellness centers just to get away from that, and they always cap. They eventually run into the same problem. So I'll talk to a lot of healers and hypnotists will be like, well, I'll start a wellness center and then I'll partner with well, then they get capped out on time too. There's no way to scale when you're charging for time. So eventually you're going to cap this, whether it's on your own, whether it's with a partner. And what's going to get you away from that, and we're going to talk about this here in a minute, is using the sales models that I'm going to walk you through here just shortly. It might feel like you never have enough clients. How many of you feel like you never have enough clients? Whether you have 2 clients a week or 20 clients in a week, you feel like it's just never enough. This is coming up if you're selling single sessions. This is probably something you're feeling. So if this is you right now, drop the word clients below. If you feel like you just never have enough clients and the number is irrelevant, like you could have 2 clients a week, 5 clients, 15 clients, or 20 clients, and it just never seems like enough because you can't make it over that 5 to 10K or that 10K hump. Okay. So Michelle feels that way. I felt this way too. Like it was like a churn and burn, like a revolving door. It's just like this. I have no idea what next month is going to look like. I can't predict. And this is why I have beef with websites. This is why I have beef with websites, because websites are very unpredictable. We are at the mercy of waiting for someone else to make a move, right? To book on your calendar. This to me was terrifying to leave and go full time into. Like this, I would not leave my job if I was at the mercy of waiting for clients to book. Okay, and what the mistake that I see happen is that hypnotists and healers try to take the therapy approach where they're like, well, let me just get booked out. Let me just get so many clients per week or per day. And they try to take the therapy route. Here's why this doesn't work. Here's why this doesn't work. Because therapists can book out their calendar months in advance because they take insurance. Because there is leverage for patients that it's more affordable. Okay? That model is not going to work for us. We're not going to book out our calendars for a month with just having a website up there and referrals. It's not going to work. Okay? I've seen hypnotists do it, but they've been in business for years, maybe 10 plus years. That's how it takes a long time to build up that kind of reputation. Okay? So the therapy model of I'm going to wait till I'm booked out, I'm just going to do my business 100% on referrals takes a long time to get to, and it's because we don't accept insurance. Okay, therapists are always going to fill up because clients and or I should say patients have more leverage. It's more affordable in a way. So this approach is not going to work as well for us. Okay, hopefully that makes sense for you guys. We gotta be a bit more assertive. Maybe not assertive, but we gotta be a bit more intentional about our advertising and our marketing and putting ourselves out there, because we don't have patients getting shipped to us. Hey, we just take insurance and they're in, and they just sit on our couch for an hour, 30 minutes, or whatever. Of course, it doesn't cost anything. $30 copay. Do you think these people are going to go far? Probably not. Maybe 1 in every 50 is going to do amazing stuff with therapy, but most people just show up and want to talk, right? I mean, it's a different clientele. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to harp on that anymore. Karen says, do you suggest having a website at all? I recently rebranded, having decided what I should create. I wouldn't waste your time. Now, if it's already created, by all means, keep it. If you haven't created yet, I would just mic drop. Like, honestly, if it was me looking back, and knowing the tools you have today, I would just mic drop, because that'll be a passive sort of way of advertising. And while it can bring you clients, unless you're already making the revenue you want to be consistently per month, it's going to be more of a passive stream of finding clients. Passive streams of finding clients are never going to be predictable. Passive does not equal predictable. Okay? So if you have a website, great, feel free to keep it up. When I work with clients, I have them mic drop on that, because we have such better tools to bring consistency and to bring abundance, which is essential social media. Specifically, I teach Facebook. So I teach prospecting and finding clients on Facebook specifically. Okay. So let me know if that answered that. I just wouldn't spend any more time on it. I wouldn't spend any more money on it. But, I talk to a lot of healers and hypnotists who come to me and they ask me, hey, Lydia, like, I'm about to hire someone to do my website for $2,000 or $3,000. Should I? No. No. Get help with the tools that work today. Okay. So you probably feel like you never have enough, right? That's always going to be the case. And then here's more of a subtle way. Here's more of a subtle problem that was coming up for me when I was a hypnotist doing this. Was people were never as motivated as I wanted them to be. So the single session people, which again I never did, but I did sell smaller packages, people were never motivated as much as I was. Like, I felt like I wanted their result more for them than they wanted. How many of you feel that right now? Drop the word result below. If you're like, I feel like I'm working harder and I want this more for my clients than they want it for themselves. Drop the word result below. Michelle's asking, are you teaching how to private messenger or how to place ads? I teach all of that. DMing is an art. It is a skill set. I did a training on this a few weeks ago. If you do want it, drop the word DM, drop the phrase DM in the chat below, and then I'll get you linked up with the replay. How about that? So I did do a training on this 2 or 3 weeks ago. If you do want that training on how to DM and be more, how to get more bookings from direct messenger, just drop the phrase DM below, and then I'll get you in touch with that training from a few weeks ago. So yes, I do teach that. Facebook ads is the way to go. That's what I teach. The reason is for that, and I have gone YouTube ads, I have done Google ads, I have done the gamut. Okay, I've done it all. Here's the problem with YouTube. YouTube, you got to spend a lot to get a little. It takes a lot of time to build momentum with YouTube ads. It can take anywhere up to 6 months to get YouTube ads to work. I would hire an agency, and it was taking a long time. It was awful. And actually, after looking back and talking to other agencies, now people are telling me, yeah, it usually takes longer. You have to spend more to get more with YouTube ads. The problem with Google ads is the same thing. You can easily spend $500 to get nothing, and it's gone. With Facebook ads, you can spend a little and get a lot. You can spend $5 a day and get a client. You can spend $5 a day and get a client. This is why I love Facebook. You're going to get more by not having to spend as much as Google and YouTube. So this is what I recommend for you guys. Okay. All right. So how many of you feel like your clients are not as motivated as you are? And this can show up like you're getting objections like, I can't afford it, or like, can I only do one session? Like prospects trying to negotiate you down from your price, negotiate you down. Can I just do one session instead of, can I try it out? Maybe some of you are getting, can I just try it first? How many of you are getting that one right now? I remember those days of the people who, they're just not committing. This is probably one of the most common complaints I hear from hypnotists and healers is that clients just don't want to commit. They just don't want to commit. So how many of you drop the word commit below? If you want clients who are going to commit as much as you are, who are going to play on your level, who are as motivated or more than you are, and take the work as seriously as you do, drop the word commit below. If that's probably one of the reasons why you're here. It's just like you want high quality, like high rollers, high ticket, motivated. They not only start, but they follow through. They don't ghost halfway through. They don't cancel, reschedule. You know, how many of you are dealing with ghosters right now and people like ghosting halfway through your program, right? If you're only selling single sessions, they probably ghost quicker than that, sooner than that, right? Okay, so Michelle says commit. Yeah. So believe it or not, everything I just walked you through here is because you're selling single sessions. This is where it's all hinging from. The inconsistency, the lack of predictability, the unmotivated clients, unwilling to commit, revolving door, anxious about the next payment, the next clients, because of the single session madness. Okay. Michelle says I use setters and it is horrible. Michelle, have you figured out how to set people successfully yourself? Have you figured it out first yourself? Never hire someone and delegate tasking you don't already know how to do. I've been doing this for over 2 years. I'm just hiring setters now, 2 years later. And I'm already at above 50K months. I've gotten to 50K months by myself. So never delegate anything you don't not know how to do yourself. I can't stress that enough. And here's why. Because if you don't know the process, you don't know what's working, you don't know how to do this successfully, what happens when they go on vacation? What happens if you fire them? What happens if they don't show up? What happens if they leave? It's horrible. It's like you're just like, ugh, you don't know your business out of your control, right? So get good at the task so that you can coach someone and delegate it. This is exactly, get good at sales, know your niche, know your market, know your product, know your program, test all of this. Your business should be successful before you delegate anything. Even your ads, by the way, guys, even your ads, run your ads. I fired my agency and tripled my revenue myself by taking the reins back over my Facebook ads. I fired my Facebook ads guy and I took over and I tripled my revenue in 30 days. I went from 10 to 30K. I skipped over 20K. I just went from 10 to 30. Like it's a pattern of mine. I did that with my hypnosis business. I went from 10 to 30 in 30 days. And then as I pivoted to work with holistic practitioners with their businesses, I did the same thing, went from 10 to 30 in 30 days. So I have this 10 to 30 thing going on here. But it's because I took back control. I learned my niche. I learned my messaging. I got it down pat. I learned how to set. I learned how to sell. Now I can bring people on to plug in those holes to peel myself back. That's the way to do it. Okay? Michelle says, yes, I was sold into as a newbie. Sold into what? I'm not sure what you're talking about. They just throw people on the calendar. They do not. Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen with agencies. Like, hey, here's calls. We promised you calls. Here's your calls. And they're all shit quality leads. They're unmotivated, on money. They're broke, right? This all goes back to your messaging. This all goes back to your messaging. This is the first bottleneck for most healers and hypnotists that I talk to. So if your messaging hasn't ruled out, you haven't polarized enough, which I've talked about in the past, you don't know your client, your messaging, you don't have it down, you haven't tested it and had it make sure that's working, you're going to be spending a lot of money on a firm or an agency to figure this out with them. And I would recommend figure it out on your own, save the money, then hire an agency later down the road once you figure that out. So that's the end of that passion rant. That's the end of that rant. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Was that validating for some of you guys? Michelle, I can imagine this is probably validating for you. Anyone else here who's hired an agency that felt like this is pretty validating for you? I made the same mistake. Hired an agency, nothing panned out. Here's leads, here's calls, and they were all horrible quality. All horrible quality. You know. All right. So how do we start to shift away from the single session madness? Okay. So there's a few points here. There's a few shifts here that I had to make that I'm going to encourage you guys to make. And validation is very good. Hopefully a lot of I get a lot from my mini course, by the way. So if some of you are brand new to the group, you didn't get the mini course, what I'm going to recommend you do so that it's easier for me to get it to you. My setter will be taking this over next week, but for now, while I'm in the middle of interviewing, I'm going to drop a link here. Just before I forget. So I'm going to drop my m.me link here. If you're new to the group, you didn't get the mini course on your way in. This mini course is going to give you a lot of clarity about the mistakes you're making right now with growing your virtual hypnosis or holistic business. So if you didn't get the mini course on your way in, what's going to help me out to get it to you is tap the link and then drop the word course in my messenger. And that will get us connected, and then I can give you the link for the course. If you didn't get that on your way in, you can go ahead and do that now. I'll have my setter be doing that here hopefully next week. I'm doing interviews on Friday, a group interview on Friday. So we'll see, crossing fingers, okay? Yeah, Michelle, just tap the link I just dropped and tap the m.me link. It'll open up our messenger and drop the word course in my chat. And then what'll happen is you'll go into my queue. You'll go into my queue, and then I'll just get around to you either this evening or tomorrow. So that'll make it easier for me to get to you. So once I close out of here, then I got to go through all the comments and try to find it. So just go ahead and do that. All right, let's go into these shifts, guys, without any further ado. First thing you're going to want to do here, okay? You guys ready? You guys ready for, let's see how many I have here. Yeah. You guys ready for these 4 things? Drop the number 4 below. If you guys are still with me and you guys can still hear me and see me, okay, let me know. Drop the number 4 below. This is great. This is my quality. You guys can hear me and see me okay even now. This is amazing. I was gonna move if this didn't get better. That's how bad it was. Michelle says 4. Give me a couple more here. Victoria, good to see you. All right, guys, cool. That works. Let's jump right in. All right. So first thing here, guys, first shift you got to make here to get away from single sessions. You will never need to sell another single session again if you apply these things, okay? First thing here is you want to not sell sessions anymore. Don't even utter the word anymore. Sell the result. Sell the result that you're promising. So do you guys even know the result you're promising? A lot of healers and hypnotists actually don't even know the result they're promising. Do you guys know your result? Drop it down below if you guys know your result. Like, what is your promise for your clients? You focus on selling that, you will never sell another single session again. Because when you sell for the result, it's gonna take a lot more than one session to get a whole result, right? Unless your result is like feel a bit more relaxed, you could wipe that out in one session. But if the result's like to help someone find the love of their life, or to lose 10 pounds, or to feel healthier or fitter in their body, or make more money, or open up blocks, whatever it is, then it's going to require more than one session, right? So stop selling sessions, start selling the result. Yeah, if you guys drop down your mission statement, I can give you guys feedback. So Michelle says, I help women heal their relationship and money wounds so they can attract the money and partner of their dreams. So women heal their relationship and money. Yeah, so I can already tell you right now, your audience is going to be confused by this. I can already tell you this is confusing because I can't tell what the ultimate goal of your, I'm getting two ultimate goals here, money and relationship. So it sounds like this needs to be fine-tuned. I would imagine your market is also confused by this. So if you put this out on social media, you're gonna get confused buyers, I think. You're gonna get people confused, that's why they're not gonna step forward. I can already tell you that right now. Let me know if this is actually the case. I'm not saying you won't get interest. I'm not saying you won't get clicks. Getting high-ticket clients, this is gonna need to be fine-tuned and more specific. More laser focused. Anyone here wanted some feedback on their goal? Like, what is the result that you're promising? Okay. First thing here is sell the result. No more selling sessions, your time, get rid of all that. Don't even talk about it. Just sell the result. And you'll easily be able to pitch a program, a package, anything beyond one session. Okay? And you're going to be doing all of this. And guys, drop your questions below as we go through here, if you have any. You're going to be selling the result using what I teach here is called a value-based pricing model. A value-based pricing model. So now the price of your offer is no longer dependent on a math equation. It's no longer dependent on 3 sessions times $500 or 10 sessions times $200. That's how a lot of you are coming up with your price point. You're doing the math, right? When you use a value-based pricing system, there's no math. There is no this times that many sessions. And then you save people by getting a bundle. That's not how we do a value-based pricing. So your price is now based on the value that your prospect potentially sees in your offer. Okay? Which means sky's the limit. Sky is the limit with your price point. Now you can charge 5K, 10K, 10K plus. I've definitely sold 10K plus programs. Okay? So that becomes possible without you having to give up more time. This doesn't mean you need to give more sessions. This just means that you need to promise a higher level of result. Again, using a value-based pricing system. Michelle says, I took a course on to niche down, and this is what we came up with. Shoot the coach, because they should have never left you with that. That's very broad, and I can't believe they okay this. This is not, this to me, I would never, no. And I see this a lot, like hypnotists and healers will go through a niching program, and they still bring this really broad statement. This is really broad still. So don't shoot me, I'm just a messenger. It's often what I see if people have gone through programs, coaches, special niching programs, and still come to me confused. Why, I don't know. I can't speak for the past coach or program or whatever you did, but I can already tell you this still needs to be fine-tuned. So I can't believe someone would pay that. And you elevate people to their desired life. I still don't know what that means. Within 30, you still, yeah, shoot. I would go back to this coach and be like, what? Like, I was just told this is not specific enough. What's going on? That's what I would go do. So it sounds great. I'm not saying it sucks or anything. It's just, your audience right now is going to reflect that confusion on this. I can just tell you. I'm not saying you won't get interest. You'll probably get interest, some engagement, but not high ticket sales. That's just where the drop off is probably going to be. Nicole says, I empower professionals to step into their true path by following their heart's desire. This is better. I still think it needs to be fine tuned. Step into their true path. It's better. It's still pretty broad. I would laser focus it even more. The more specific you go, the more money you're going to make. That I can guarantee. It is not it is like correlation equals causation here. The more specific you can be, the more money you're going to make. Which is 100% of the time, it never fails. Oh, Michelle says she wouldn't even care. I paid a lot of money. And that's the trend that I see is like clients or even non-clients will come to me and they've spent all this money and they don't have what they need because they didn't get the support that they thought they were going to get. And it's like a support issue. I'm sorry to hear that, Michelle. I know it's really, and unfortunately I hear this all the time, and that's usually when hypnotists and other healers and hypnotists find me. I do one-on-ones. I do private one-on-ones with clients for their niche. I actually get on a call with them privately to coach them. And I've had people cry on these calls. I've had people bang their head again. I have seen the frustration, okay? But that's why I do private one-on-ones. I don't think this can be really resolved in a matter of 10 minutes on like a group call. I would not trust that. So I don't know what their support system look like, but I'm sorry. Now I yeah, I know. So anyway, but that's why I do one-on-ones with clients, because this is the most important part. Everything going forward is going to be dependent on your messaging. Everything you do going forward is going to be dependent on this. So that's why this has to be dialed in. This has to be dialed in, or else you're just going to be putting out ads that goes into black hole somewhere with nothing returned. Putting out posts that people are not really clicking or doing whatever. So we gotta dial that in more. So if you do want some more help with that, let me know. We could definitely talk about it. I'm not making any offers here. That's not the intention of this call. But if there's something that is really bothering you, and you do want more support there, feel free to just send me a message. We can take a look at that. Cool. Let's go into number 3 here. So let's do a quick recap. So selling the result. So now you're selling the result, not your time. Number 2, you're doing that by using a value-based pricing model. Okay. So no more, now your price points depending on value, not 5 sessions times your hourly wage. That's not how we're going to be doing this anymore. Okay. Oh, Joseph, that's nice of you to say. Very generous and supportive. Well, yeah, look, the way I see it is, if my clients aren't winning, I'm not winning. Like, if my clients are winning, I'm not winning. I don't want a group of people continuing to struggle. Like, it doesn't fill me up. So, I don't know. I can't speak for other coaches and mentors, but that's what's important to me. I work overtime to reach out to people to get help. I don't like to babysit, because that's not what I'm promoting here. But checking in, again, maybe more one-on-one support is what you need. It's probably what you need, So yeah, we can certainly talk about your niche a little bit more if you do want to. But I can also point you to some free resources in the group as well. So stop selling the result. Like I said, recap here, using a value-based pricing system. Number 3 here. This is an obvious one, but not so obvious. Okay, this is like obvious, but not. Okay. Stop selling the single. Stop offering them. Take them out. Get rid of them. Throw them out. So now single sessions are no longer an option. Now I can already tell you, I'm going to say this, and a lot of you are probably going to think, what? Right? Like, how many of you, I just said this, you're like, whoa, there's maybe some fear, hesitation coming up. You're like, whoa. If I get rid of single sessions, I'm going to lose clients, right? That's probably what's coming up now. I'm going to lose people if I don't offer single sessions, right? But here's the key. As long as it's an option, that's what people are going to take. Because people are always going to go with the path of least resistance. They're always going to go with the path of least resistance. So as long as in your mind that's an option, it's also going to be an option for your clients. So take it out, get rid of it. From here on out, you're only selling packages and programs. That's it. That's all that exists. Okay? If you have to put it on a sticky note, so it's like a commitment. But get rid of it. Throw it out. It doesn't exist anymore. So it's an obvious one, but most healers and hypnotists they get a little weird when I just say get rid of it. Because how many of you feel like a fear that like, if you get rid of single sessions, you're going to lose money, you're going to lose clients. Is anyone here feeling this way right now? Or am I just talking about other people, someone else? Anyone, drop the word me below if you're feeling that way right now. Like, as soon as I said that, you felt like this, whoa, no way, that's a huge step. Is anyone here feeling that way right now? Michelle, you're welcome, I think. Hopefully, I know I hate to be the messenger, but yeah, I mean, it just, I'm not going to lie to you either, you know. So, Yolanda says me. Okay. So, here's the thing. You got to decide who your one ideal client is. Does your ideal client, let's do a quick poll here, quick group poll. Does your ideal client, your dream client, not your fears, not everyone else, not everybody, just your dream client, are they looking for a one-hit, one-session wonder to fix everything? Is that your dream client? Just drop yes or no in the chat here. We'll just rapid fire. Is that your dream client? Is that who you want to center your business around? Is that person who's like, I just want to do one session. I don't want to invest anymore. I don't want to commit. Yeah, see? That wasn't my client either. I wanted me as a client. How many of you want yourself as a client? Like, I want me, the baller, right? The one who has big dreams, the one who's ready to spend what they have to get what they need, right? How many of you, like, that's your ideal client? Who are ready to make that investment. They're ready right now to make that investment. Nicole says no. Yolanda says no. Yeah, so as long as you're keeping this as an option, you're still putting energy towards that niche. You're still putting energy towards that niche. You see what's happening here? So you got to take your attention away from that niche, start talking to your dream client. Start talking to your dream client. It just was difficult to accomplish a package deal, non-single sessions. Well, get rid of the single sessions. They don't exist anymore. Poof, they're gone. They never happened. Not a thing. Just not available. You got to decide right now if you want to continue to step down for those people or expect them to step up and play on your level. How many of you want people to step up and play on your level versus you having to step down and cater and give discounts and, cut down, you're like trying to save them money, all this, basically becoming like a crutch for them. It's horrible. I used to do that. It's horrible. And yeah, guys, any other questions you have as we kind of wrap up here? Karen says, I help women who have experienced loss, growth through grief so they can create a new path in life. Women who have experienced loss, growth through grief. That's much better. You could even take that even further. That's much better. It's pretty, it's good. It's good. I would give it like a good. But we could even take it one step further. If it's working for you, great. If it's not, maybe you may need to tweak it. Victoria says, goal is to empower corporate women to have aligned careers, health, and fulfilled relationships via hypnosis. Yeah, it sounds like, Victoria, you need to be a bit more laser focused on your end. Because I don't know what aligned careers means. And if I'm questioning that, probably someone else's. So you might have to fix kind of like the kind of languaging in there. And then I would pick one niche. I would not have to. Think of a niche as one business. One business is one niche. One niche is one business. So if you got athletes over here, corporate women over here, that's like two different businesses, two different offers, two different teams maybe down the road to offer. Like, You got to think about every time you put out an offer, every time you have a different offer, think about everything you have to do to sell one offer. Think about it. You got to have a marketing funnel for it. You got to have your lead funnel. You got to have eventually, if you want to grow, you might have to have a team behind that offer. You got to have sales calls for that offer specifically. Like you have to learn the skill of selling that offer. Like there's so much momentum with one offer. Imagine trying to do that for 2 different offers, right? So I would suggest, this is why I always point my clients to having one offer. Let's fill it up right now. Let's get everybody into this offer. And then we can also build out future offers for the same niche down the road. Or, I mean, you could always have a second business as well. Poof, very plausible to sell non-single sessions. Telling you, just eliminate it from your life. And your packages and programs will sell. But you got to decide first. You have to make the decision before your prospect does. As long as you keep putting it out there, people are going to keep buying them, right? And that leads me into point 4, which is the final shift here, is that realize, we kind of already touched on this, realize single sessions are not enough. Single sessions are not enough. You know, I even had, I have a lot of people hypnotists come to me for stop smoking. And I guess like there's people out there teaching one session to kill smoking. But to be honest, like I know a lot of people who regress at some point, who maybe need a smoke or they regress a little. I truly don't believe it's one forever. And let's pretend it is. Let's even pretend that it is. I'm sure there's anxiety behind it. Where else is that anxiety showing up in their life? It's typically an oil spill. So what else can you help them with? Right? Again, let's pretend that was the case. One session could kill smoking. Well, where else is that anxiety showing up? Where else is that restlessness showing up? Where else is that causing? Like, don't you see how you can help someone on such a bigger level with all of these other problems that are coming up in this oil spill? Nicole says, what do you think about niching offers versus niching an audience? Niching offers? What do you mean niching offers? If I think I know the direction you're going, I'm going to say yes. Like a very specific offer, yeah. You're talking like a specific offer, 100%. Yeah, you want to be specific, 100%. Yeah. Again, the more specific you can be, the more money you're going to make. It's crazy. It sounds too easy, but it's 100% true. If you can look like a specialist in someone's eyes, they will subconsciously see more value, right? When I hurt my back, I was not going to spend $10,000 on a general like sports doctor. Screw that. No way. No way. No way. But guess who I did give $10,000 to? A spinal specialist. I went outside of insurance, as always, right? Insurance ain't going to cover this stuff. Went outside of insurance, found a spinal specialist, just focused on that part of the body, just this part of the body, and spent well over probably close to $20,000 I've spent on them. But now I can deadlift again. Now I can work out again. Now I can function again, right? So can you see how important it is to be a specialist in someone's eyes? Michelle says, how do we get laser focused? Oh man, like how do you get laser focused? I mean, honestly, probably having a sounding board, like either getting like someone to help you with that is going to be the best way. Trying to figure it out yourself. You could go look at what other people are doing who are doing really good in your niche. You could go follow other people in your niche. If you don't want to like spend any money, you could go look at other people in your niche and look at their niche and like their offers. The problem is like, I would never do this alone, to be honest. I don't care if it's, you want help from me or anyone else. Like, it's just, I promote coaching so much. Like, I have 2 coaches right now. Like, I have 2 for my business, just for my business alone. I have a fitness coach right now. I have 2 business consultants that I work with. So, like, I see so much value in coaching. I just wouldn't do it yourself. However, if you do want to go more the free way, I would say follow people in your niche and look at how specific they're getting. That's what I would do. If I was like zeroing out, not spending any money, I would go do that. But I would honestly, Michelle, I know it's the last thing you want to hear. I'm sure this is the last thing you want to hear. So I understand that. But I would just not sit in silence if you're spinning your wheels for a long time. I just wouldn't stay trying to figure it out on your own for a long period of time. So I don't know if that's helpful. I mean, how do you get laser focused? I mean, you really have to identify what's going on in your prospects' heads, right? You got to identify where they are in their journey, what's going on in their heads. Like that's like the best way I can describe it. You know, these tools that I use, what problems do I solve? Yeah, exactly. What problems do you help them solve? Exactly. Like, what's the problems you help them with? Where do they want to go? Right? What are their specific problems? Yeah, exactly. The more of a picture you can paint of that person's life, the better. Does that make sense? Does it help? I know we only have this call here to like answer this question. If you do want to chat more about it, just like shoot me. I'll drop my m.me link here. I'll just drop it here again in case you want it. If you do want more feedback on it, happy to walk you through the changes we need to make with your niche. I just dropped my link below. Just tap that link, drop the word niche in my messenger. Michelle says I've spent 16,000. I've made 10,000 so far. I have not had success with them like you have. Success with them. I'm not sure who them is. Who is them, Michelle? Yeah, I would say if you want to just figure it out on your own, go find someone in your niche and follow them and kind of like look at their, their language they're using in your coaches. Michelle, here's what I'm going to tell you. Do you want me to tell you how much I had to spend to get to even just $30,000 months? Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had to spend close to $50,000 to get to $30,000 months. I had to spend $100,000 to get to 50K plus months. $100,000 investing in coaching. So here's the problem. If we cap ourselves, like I've already spent this much. I've already spent, and I'm going to rant here for a second. Passion rant. If I already spent this much, and if you just stop spending money out of frustration, your business is going to die. Your business is going to die. I'm not telling you your feelings aren't real. I know the feeling. I know the frustration. I had to spend $100,000 to get to 50. I had to spend $50,000 to get to 30. But that's what I had to spend. That's what I had to spend. Michelle, this is what you need to spend, right? For everyone else on the call, how much are you going to, what's the number for you? How much do you need to spend to get to where you want to be? It's going to be different for everybody. So, but also Michelle, I'm not telling you have to go get a coach either. Go follow people in your niche and look at their messaging. That is always good. That already can give you some clarity in terms of like their languaging in their emails, the type of hooks that they use. That is already going to help you if you kind of want to go more of like the free route. But I'm just telling you, if it was me, this is just looking back. I've had to spend a lot of money too. I know. But is it worth it? Absolutely. You're going to get there. You're going to get there eventually, whether you have to spend 10,000, 20, 30, 40, or 100,000, you're going to get there. Even if it's not with that coach, maybe it's with another one, right? So, or multiple. Okay. So I wish I could tell you something otherwise. I wish I could, but then I'd be lying. So, but that brings us to the top of the hour, guys. We're about done here. If you're watching the replay and you have questions, just drop questions below here and I'll get back to you. If you came in late, if you want the training from a few weeks ago on direct messaging, just drop the phrase DM below. If you're wanting the mini course and you haven't gotten that on your way in, if you're new to the group, hit the m.me link down below and then just drop the word course in my chat and then I'll get you set up with the link. And guys, let me know if this was valuable for you. I said a lot today. Was this valuable for you guys? If so, drop the word value below. Let me know if this got you some clarity here today. And eliminate the single sessions. Get rid of them. Don't talk about them. Like poof, they're gone. They're no longer in your repertoire. of packages and offers. It's gone. So guys, let me know if this is valuable by dropping the word value below. And if you're watching the replay, let me know if this was valuable for you as well. And yeah, it's just, we all have our own path. We all have to spend so much money to get there. But look, I've spent well over $100,000. I've spent $50,000 on the coaching program I'm in now, and I'm no regrets, like no regrets. So take what you got, you know, and do what you need to do to get where you want to be. And it just, for me, I value speed. I value speed personally. I will pay to get there faster. So I'm all about, fine, I spent this much. Here's another 10 grand, whatever. I just want to get there as fast as possible. That's just the way I am. So if you're okay spending time figuring it out on your own, you can totally do that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just about speed. I want speed. I want to get there as fast as possible. And that's just why I encourage, you know, getting some outside support. But Michelle says this sound is chipping in and out, so I've missed a lot. I'll be sending out the replay tomorrow, so just stay tuned to your inbox or a Facebook group. I'll be sending out the replay. And guys, yeah, post below what you want more information on, what questions I can answer for you, and then I'll turn them into live trainings like we have every Wednesday. All right, guys, good to see you. See you inside of the group. Bye-bye.